Guys, here we're gonna hope anybody joins the chat who wants to do this. This is kind of a not boring. I know some other chat, my other live streams are not that boring, but hold on, I have to breathe for a second. What is that? So today we're gonna talk about late models. So we're gonna talk about the current status of Gen 4. And what Gen 4, how long it was used for. The examples of Gen 4 we have here are we have different Gen 4 cars, these diecasts. First we're gonna do, this is the Gen 4 Chevrolet Monte Carlo Pre-COT, which is like the best one ever. The Chevrolet Monte Carlo Pre-COT was used from 2005 to 2000 to like 3 races in 2007, and Bristol would obviously the COT would replace. Love Gen 4, but I think maybe we should just keep the COT in the Cup Series and keep like Gen 4 as a late model. And Gen 4 is still kind of used in ARCA. Some like budget teams in ARCA use Gen 4, and it's still like, it's not legal, but Gen 4 is the oldest body allowed. The Gen 4 body from 2006 to 2007, that Gen 4 body is the only one allowed. Next we have the Dodge Charger Gen 4, which is, this one's cool. Gen 4 Dodge Charger, I like this one. This is the again 2005 2007 pre-COT. And then we have this one's supposed to look like Gen 4. It's the 2011. So basically, it's the Monte Carlo rebranded as the Impala. It has the Monte Carlo window. This was the Xfinity car for like 2010, 2011. And they assigned it to I don't know if ARCA. Well, I know this is it's a Gen 4. It's supposed to look like Gen 4. And it is Gen 4, but they changed back to Gen 4 for like, yeah, so that's what it was. So the comparison, see this body versus this body, both have the same, similar, so yeah. All right, so yeah, that's what it is. That's the, then this one is it's a regional series, ARCA Midwest Tour, Jim Bates, number 34, Bubba Gump, and has 4 Hoosier tires on it. This one's a random diecast. When you go to Bubba Gump Shrimp Company, they have diecast them. It's a 2013 ARCA Midwest Tour diecast. It's a real life driver, but yeah, this is Gen 4. They still use this in the NASCAR local series. I think it looks better in the local series and the Cup series. Gen 4, man, Gen 4 is not too bad in the Cup series, but I like Gen 4 local series better. I think Gen 4 is my favorite generation. Sexy. It's a sexy, really sexy body of NASCAR. So those are the Gen 4 cars I have today here. So Gen 4 is most iconic NASCAR stock car, because here, I'll show you a car I bought from Five Below. I saw the other day. This is and it kind of reminded me of Natalie Decker's 44, but this is the Ford Taurus stock car by Macedo. That's why I bought it, because it's a stock car. Gen 4 is the most that's why Gen 4 is the most iconic. This is the Gen 4 Ford Taurus. It looks different. I don't know if it looks. I think it might look different. I don't have a Gen 4 Ford Fusion to compare it to, but yeah. But that's most iconic stock car is Gen 4, which I love Gen 4. It's like the best stock car. Here's a Gen 4 Ford Taurus 2000. Johnny Benson. Yeah. From the year 2000, yeah. Alright. There's one there. And Loopy. Okay. Yeah, so. Anyways, yeah, so we're just gonna keep that for a second. And yeah, so Gen 4 was ultimately replaced. So another reason, there's actually a couple reasons why Gen 4 would be retired. So first I want to talk about the Impala Gen 4 car. So the Impala Gen 4 is basically a Monte Carlo rebranded as the Impala. They just put Impala on the front. They use this car in the NASCAR Arca Menard series. They used it. On iRacing, you can get it. It used to be called the NASCAR K&N Pro Car. Now it's called the NASCAR Arca Menards car and Arca Menard series car. And you can get it. It's like $12. Let's so get that car. But then what's so funny is they need to update it a little bit because it still has Goodyears on it instead of yeah, it was first name for it was the NASCAR Camping World Series car. Then they called it the NASCAR Nationwide car when the Nationwide Series started using Gen 4 from 2007 2010. Then it was called the NASCAR K&N Pro car from 2013 2019 and 2020 they named Arca Menards Arca Menards car series car due to the merger of the Arca Menards series and NASCAR K&N Pro series. Don't worry, guys. I know NASCAR. I'm not stupid. So you can trust me these facts. Yes. So here's some of the reasons why Gen 4 was replaced. So Gen 4 pre-COT was pretty iconic. It was pretty like cool. They still use the Gen 4 body in the NASCAR local series, but get this. It's actually not rebranded, as the Impala or the Chevy SS. And even the Camaro for some people. Some people just put a Camaro sticker on the back and just left the front with the Chevy logo on it or Camaro sticker on the front. Then in 2019, they changed it to the Camaro. I don't know about this new super late model body, or late model body. They changed it to the Chevy Cup Series Camaro. I'm like, I kind of like the, I'll be taking the Gen 4 body, please, because I just like want to race a Gen 4. When I move from mini cups to late models, I want to race a Gen 4. So they said, so I looked on Fury Race Cars website. The body, it comes with the Gen 6 body. You just have, and it comes the kit to put the new body on, but the car comes with the Gen 4 body. I'm like, I'll be keeping the Gen 4 body on. But yeah, that's how mini cups are sold too. Well, how they're sold is they sold with the body on, Or no, they're sold with the body off. You get the body separately. This is so you don't damage the body. That's the whole reason. So, like in shipping, maybe I only will buy a mini cup car online. That's no, that's not really bad. But it's kind of better just drive up to the place, like get one, so that way you don't damage it, and you're trusting yourself in your own hands. Oh, that's that necklace. Huh? There's that. Um, that's that. The so that's that reason. The Gen 4 was from 1992 to 2000, 2006, or I'd say 2007 because they used it for 3 races. The 2007 Daytona 500 had a Gen 4 cars in it. I mean Gen 4 cars. So here's some examples. Hold on a minute. Yes, kind of the old Monte Carlo from. So there's a difference between the Monte Carlo from the 90s and then the Monte Carlo from the 2000s. This is the Monte Carlo body here, number 33. No, Joe Nemechek. I could always use this as my ARCA car, but it's too outdated, so it's maybe not that outdated. Fun fact, NASCAR stock cars always had splitters, but they never had them low to the ground like the car tomorrow. That's the only difference. They're always above the ground. See here how it's above the ground? That's why. Let's say 1999. Monte Carlo. So I was not born in the 90s, but I just happened to go to some different NASCAR, happened like to go to different places, and like they have different old NASCAR, like vintage NASCAR and new NASCAR, old NASCAR. They have some racing champions. Right on old ones. I watch all the other like NASCAR's channels, and some of them will have diecast. Like Raja Kurith, please, if he watches this video, I'm subscribed to you, and he, oh yeah, he has a nice collection actually. I have a collection too. If you comment if you want me to do a collection tour, but yeah. I should have done with school, so I decided to make this video. I was like in class thinking about making a video on some of these vintage NASCAR. Oh yeah, video on Gen 4. Some of these vintage NASCAR diecasts, when I touch them, they just like feel all old. But when you touch the new ones, alright, so yes. I don't have a Camry Gen 4. I only have Chevy, Dodge, and Ford. Anyways, yes. So then we're gonna talk about what happens. Oh yeah. So yes. So this car was, before we talk about the COT, this car was used in the National NASCAR Series. So like the NASCAR ARCA Menard Series, the K&N Series. Well, at the time, it was the K&N Series was separate from the ARCA Menard Series. Now they're merged. But yeah, ARCA Menard's K&N. The NASCAR Wheel, no, not Wheel, maybe Wheel. Yeah, well, National Series. Yeah, so those are only two National Series I can think of that like used Gen 4. The Nationwide Series, the Xfinity Series now, used it from 2007 to 2010, and then in 2011 they got a new car. It was called the pre-COT. So I don't know why we would consider the 2011 Xfinity car for the pre-COT. They used that car. Well, for Ford, they used that car until 2014. But for Chevy, they got the Camaro. Then they finally replaced it with the new. But the Xfinity body, the difference between that, it has a slight Gen 4 to it. So it kind of is slightly like a Gen 4 car because the back. It basically has the back like a Gen 4. Let's see if I have my Xfinity car. This isn't false information, it's all true. It's just what I noticed. It might not supposed to be what I just noticed. Maybe it's true, maybe it isn't true. I think it's true. Okay, here's an Xfinity car. They always have so heavy, these Xfinity cars. Bulky. Maybe these might use steel bodies. I think these they switched to composite bodies from steel in 2018. Camaro. See, this is the. It actually is a late. So the Xfinity car is a late model car because it's literally called the Xfinity Model Sportsman Series. Okay, so we're gonna show you why. See the back of this, okay? It's curved. And let's compare these. Okay, we're gonna compare these. We got Chevy Monte Carlo and Chevy Camaro. Let's see, you notice the backs. I noticed it too. They look similar. The backs. Then we have. Oh wow, yes. So the deck lids look the same. This one's curved spoiler. This one has a straight spoiler. The backs are actually the same. Wow, the rear window. There's a lot of similarities. The side panel, this here is kind of similar. So it's kind of a mix of the. So Xfinity car is kind of a mix of Gen 4, the Gen 4 late model cars, like this, or the Arc Menard Gen 4 late model car is this car here. This is the local NASCAR series late model car, which is this for the local series. It's called the NASCAR late model stock or the NASCAR super late model. And then so Xfinity series cars lay across between a Gen 4 from 2007 to 2010, which was used in the Xfinity series, and this is really just true information, guys. And it's also and maybe a cup car. Yes, a cup car. Yeah, that's what it is. Yes. But they switched the Camaro earlier in the Cup series than the Cup series. That's why Xfinity car looks weird. Back then, the Xfinity series actually used the old Cup cars, and that's why it's called late model. It was like it's called the late model sportsman series. Well, it's what it used to be when it first was called that. NASCAR Busch, NASCAR Busch late model sportsman series. So basically, we call it a sportsman late model. The Xfinity car is just called the Xfinity car, though. It's not called the sportsman late model, but that's just the technical and stuff I noticed on it. I could be right about the Xfinity car being like that. Yeah. Also, the difference between a NASCAR late model and a NASCAR. Well, NASCAR case. Now we're going to still talk about Gen 4. We're going to talk about specifically the Arc Menards. We're going to talk about how Gen 4 is used today. Before we talk about it, anyways, we're talking about what Gen 4 was used today. So Gen 4 is currently used in the Arc Menard series. Here's the Arc Menard series Gen 4. By budget teams, because the current Arc Menards car is a Chevy SS, Ford Fusion, and Toyota Camry from like 2014 to 2015 model, manufacturer model. It's also the last year Danica. Well, actually, 2017 was the last year with Danica Patrick was Coca-Cola and Stuart Haas. Anyways, so yeah, this is the Arkham Menards one, and these three are. See, I don't have a Toyota to show you. That's the thing. I don't have a Toyota Gen 4, which is fine. But this is the local Monte Carlo body. It's a Chevy. It's brand as a Chevy SS, but it has the Monte Carlo local regional series body. Yeah. So that's all for that. Anyways, today we're going to talk about also the difference between a NASCAR local regional series asphalt late model and a dirt late model, which we don't have a diecast of, but there's the differences between them. Something else, what's the difference? I first thought this too. I thought a late model was only dirt. Then I realized, it can be asphalt or dirt. So a late model can be either asphalt or dirt. But why the late model, outlaw late model by shape like this? When you outlaw some, you make it look dirty, or dirt racing. You make it have a dirt racing type of body. So it's basically a Gen 4 body, and with the outlaw version of it. So it's the outlaw. So you have to. And outlaw bodies, let's see how long they've been the same. I think they've been the same for a long time. Outlaw late models, like the 80s, they haven't changed it since. How have they changed it? Maybe they might have changed it since the 80s. But the dirt late, yeah, they did. Okay. The dirt late model is basically the outlaw version of the Gen 4 local regional NASCAR touring car. Anyways, yes. This is a NASCAR local Arkham Midwest Tour region. That's all we have to. Oh yes, we do have to discuss. So this is the Arkham Menard series switched to Gen 6 in 2007, maybe 2017, late 2017, early 2018. They'd still be using Gen 4 cars, but most of the major teams would be using a Venturiti had a mix of Gen 4. So the Gen 4 was even used in 2019. Still used in 2019, actually. They use it on the dirt tracks mostly. You mostly see a lot of Gen 4 on the dirt tracks. The asphalt you see only like 2 or 3. But the major teams mostly use Gen 4 on the dirt tracks now. It's an asphalt car, but it's supposed to be as an asphalt, Natalie Decker, her ARCA at Road America in 2018 or 2017, had a Gen 4 by Venturini Motorsports. The top ARCA team, and it's Toyota. So Venturini is a pretty good team. Let's see, Joe Gibbs and Venturini, only good NASCAR Toyota teams. True or false? True. Because I'm like, Toyota's failing. Racing development, there's more drivers left to. I used to like Toyota and want to be as my manufacturer, but now I'm I'm saying with either Chevy, Ford, or Dodge, not Toyota. The local regional series, they might use Dodge. Pinty, I know NASCAR International. NASCAR Canada in Mexico use Dodge. NASCAR Canada only uses So American manufacturers means like North American manufacturers would be, what, like Dodge, Ford, and Chevy, big three. Those are America. Well, yes, made in the United States and Mexico and Canada for the street cars. For the NASCAR stock cars, though, obviously the Ford, Chevy, Dodge, and Toyota stock cars are made in the United States. And for the street cars too, Toyota, for the stock cars, all the stock car engines, and most of the stock car engines, teams, and um, like engine builders and all that, car builders teams are mostly located in North Carolina, where NASCAR started. Well, NASCAR actually started in Daytona Beach, Florida, the company, but the whole background of the sport before it was a league. Before it was a league, it was in North Carolina when probably in the 30s, when the outlaw moonshine runners raced local tracks. NASCAR is southern still, so NASCAR is mostly international now. Before it used to be just in the South in the United States, but then it expanded like toward the Midwest in the Northeast. NASCAR. And yeah, it expanded toward toward the Midwest, like with Michigan Speedway in the Northeast. I'm gonna say probably like the Northeast first, Watkins Glen, which Watkins Glen was built by NASCAR. But some open wheel like IndyCar and some sports cars like IMSA and what's it called? Grand Am and Trans Am use it too, but NASCAR stock car racing mostly build it. And yeah, so that is what was it about? Ovals. Okay, anyways, we'll see NASCAR. Now it's international. So after the Midwest, Northeast, NASCAR expanded to the West. Then after that, NASCAR Mexico was formed. Then NASCAR Canada was formed. NASCAR Mexico 2004, NASCAR Canada 2006. Then the NASCAR Euro Series was the last, or most recent, not last. They're probably like in the future, maybe a NASCAR Africa Series or Asia. There was a NASCAR Australia Series in the 80s, which was actually the first international series in NASCAR. But then it's now gone. The NASCAR Australia Series is no longer around. I don't know when they stopped doing that, but they stopped the NASCAR Australia Series. So it's kind of forgotten. Everybody forgot about the NASCAR Australia Series. And it did go to New Zealand too. NASCAR Australia made stops in New Zealand and Australia. But anyways, so NASCAR Winning Euro Series is located in Europe. They use stock cars too, but like the Chevy SS and but Wheeling Euro car is kind of like a Pinty series car. It's the international NASCAR. Is what I call it. In Mexico, stock cars made international. They're American and Japanese manufactured like that. Also in Mexico, they have Mazda as a manufacturer. But basically, it's a Toyota Camry with a Toyota engine and a Mazda symbol on it. So all is a symbol, Toyota Racing still makes Mazdas. It could be a Mazda. It could be a Mazda or a Ford engine because I know Ford and Mazda had some deal, and like some of Ford's cars, Mazda's cars looks like Ford's. Like the Mazda SUV, it looks like a 2004 Escape, one of them. Like, and then a Ford Ranger 2008 and a like or 2009 and a Mazda truck 2009. They look the same with a Mazda logo on it. So no doubt Mazda and Ford, it could either have a Toyota engine or a Ford engine in it. Or if like, well, I know Euro Series uses NJ engine, it's racing engines, which makes F1 and NASCAR wheel and Euro Series engines. In Canada, I don't know if they use in Canada. Maybe I don't think they use NJ, but in Mexico, I don't know if what they use in Mexico. But yeah. Mexico Series uses Hoosier racing tire, or they use Continental, but it's really Hoosier racing tire because Hoosier race tires owned by Continental. So they use Hoosier in the now they use General Tire actually. No, never mind. Now they use General Tire, but they used to use Hoosier as their So all true fact, all of the international series use General Tire. The Euro Series used to use Michelin asphalt ovals. That's interesting. That's kind of you can tell that, yeah. But I'm glad NASCAR's international because then I can just like go on vacation and then go see a NASCAR race. Like that's why it's cool. But NASCAR, the Cup Series, only in America. There's only certain series that are in America, like the NASCAR Cup Series, NASCAR Will and All American, or now the Advanced Auto Parts Weekly, the Will Modified, ARCA Midwest Tour, ARCA Jegs Super Series, the ARCA Menard Series. Yeah, that's so that is the local, and the national would be national and local would be ARCA Menards. That's a national and local series because it goes to like local tracks like I-94 Speedway, Elko Speedway, New Simra Speedway. Then it goes to national tracks like Daytona, Lucas Oil 200, and the ARC at Phoenix. So yeah. The NASCAR International Series makes one stop in the U.S. One in Phoenix, NASCAR Mexico Series. Then for Canada, one at New Hampshire Speedway. That's the cool thing about it. But mostly, Canada races, yeah. Canada, Pinty's Canada is sponsored. It's like a liquor sponsored series. I don't think NASCAR in the United States would want liquor because NASCAR they still use Busch as the official beer of NASCAR, but like look how ridiculous it is. I have a Busch Kevin Harvick diecast. This is ridiculous. Look, they mount it to the stand because it has one Busch logo right here on the roof, and now they mount it to this. It's like, bruh. It said you had to be like 18 or older for that Busch diecast. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I might get this off the stand but I might just keep on. I have this Dale Jr. I marked this video not for kids because we're going to show the Budweiser and Busch logos. But I mean, this Dale Jr. car, it's actually the ARCA Menards car I'm using. I'm just going to call it Chase Purdy because I'm making the ARCA series. This presented by Hoosier. ARCA Menards. This one was mounted to a stand when I got it. Of course. Well, if I had a sponsor, I probably wouldn't take alcohol sponsors. Brian Kozlowski, he's always drinking Miller Lite. And Haley drinking Monster Energy. I'm like, you're gonna get a heart attack if you like drink two of those. I actually remember I sipped one once. But never mind, let's just not talk about it. I was okay though, but just don't drink more than one Monster Energy. Because yeah. Well, my mom But yeah, anyways, um, before we end the stream, because we have nothing else to talk about, let's just talk about one more thing. A NASCAR Wheel All-American Series. Let's see. So when I been by one of my videos, that bike I was showing you, I purchased. Well, I didn't purchase it like this year. I've actually had it for like since 2018. That bike. I got a new bike for Christmas, and the tires are all worn on now because before I didn't ride it that much. I like rarely rode it. Now I ride it a lot. I use it for NASCAR practice. So what I'm doing for stock car racing practice, like before I race mini cups, depending if I have good grades or not. If my dad was telling me if I don't get good grades, no mini cup, Nick. I'm like, okay. So yeah, I'm trying my best in grades and in racing. So I'm doing sim racing. Also I'm doing go karts. I'm just like going to meet golf and go kart places to race those. Just do go karts there. Yeah, before you go get into like a type of racing car, you need experience. That's why I don't think I'm silly for doing that. I mean, I think there's literally Kyle Busch. He rode a go kart. Austin Dillon, he started Bandolero cars at 15. Like, wow, I am starting a year earlier than he is. He's one of my heroes, like Armani Williams, also Halo Dean, Nelly Decker. And yes, that is all I have. Thank you. That's all I have. Yeah. Thanks for watching. There's only, but it's kind of we discussed a lot. So, oh, now somebody left it. Okay. Okay, so I guess that's no way it's on here. All right then. Well. Okay. All right. Well. Thank you for watching. That one person is probably getting a lot of views, but see how many fans. See you guys next video. Thank you. Bye. Also, thank you for being fans. Fans are really the best because they give you encouragement and love, and that's what's good about them. So is family. Always value friends, family, fans, and people who do stuff for you. You should value that because that's so nice. And yes, also value whatever God you worship. Worshiping God. Well, I guess that's just your choice, but okay. Anyways, but yes, just that's an important part. Always value the important people in your life. See you guys next video. Bye.